Welcome back to Giant Monster Games. My name is Adrian. Today we are doing a level 8 base build. As you can see, I have an empty plot here. I cleared everything out. I moved the few things that wouldn't be removed to the side so we can start from scratch. So this is going to be my process, specifically my process on how I go about building a base, and a few of the tips that I've noticed that against bases that I tend to win against and bases I tend to lose against. These are just going to be some general tips when you're building your base. So hopefully this helps you guys out with your base building. There's going to be another video down the road as well of how to tweak your base, how to look at videos, your replays, and find a better way of upgrading it and making it so you can fix the problems that you're currently running into. But this one, we're going to just build this base. So I'm going to go to full screen so you guys don't have to see my ugly mug anymore. Okay, now we're full screen. Let's actually start this process out. So the first thing, and something you may know, I'm gonna get out of the viewer here, so we actually have the editor. So the first thing that is usually the most important, and that is going to be your town center. Or I'm going to call it town center. Sorry if I mispronounce or missay any of these names. I haven't memorized all the buildings' names. I apologize. So the town center, or your base, whatever you want to refer to it as, is probably the first and probably the most important thing, because when people attack you, if they destroy this building, it makes up usually around 30% of the score. So if you're trying to get a certain percentage to win against or lose against, this is usually the one that adds up for the most. So it is one you need to put in a strategic area. The other thing is this building also produces troops for you. I'm going to zoom in here a little bit here. This one also produces troops for you, so that is super duper important. So I'm going to put it, usually I put it kind of in the center. It makes sense to put it in the center 99% of the time because everything else is going to kind of go around it. So that's going to be the first one. Let's actually make it so it is dead center here. And then the next thing you want to do is you have a bunch of towers. I actually have 2 towers over here I'm going to grab. So you have a bunch of towers, which we're going to move over into the thing. Plus, we're going to probably get another couple more. So I'm going to grab a couple more of these guys. We have a total of 4, but we have a total of 6, but we're actually going to go for more than that. Oh, it's touchdown. Okay. So the first thing is we're going to place 4 of these towers. So the thing is, you want to make it so this base is also quite protected. So what we're going to do, we're going to take 2 of these guys. Oop, I totally am just placing a whole bunch of them. Let's place them all. Why not? You're going to take a bunch of these guys, and you're going to put a couple of them relatively close to your base, but you're going to put them somewhere. We're going to put something like ballistas on them, or other artillery pieces where they can just pummel people as they attack your base. So I think the first thing we're going to do, I'm going to use this base as well for a while so we can actually see how this works out. So I'm going to take 2 of these guys. I'm actually going to put them, I think I'm going to put them right here. One on either side. Actually, you don't want to put them one on either side. Actually, now that I come to think of it, you want to put them off-centered a little bit. Because if you put them exactly on one on either side and you have a ballista on it, the ballista will actually shoot the building and not people behind the building. So you kind of want to do something around this. So first thing is we're going to put these 2 guys down. And we're going to throw 2 of our ballistas on top of this guy. So keep in mind that you could just downscale this setup. We're going to do 4 if you're level 7 or level 6. You just take out the things that are extra added on bonus here for us. The next thing we're going to do is something I also put very close to my base, is we are going to put in the longer range pieces. So in this case, we're going to put in our ballista. Oh, not our ballista. It's the, I remember, it's the something gun. I apologize again for not knowing its name. I wish I did all my research before I started making this video, but I didn't. Okay, so I guess I could probably zoom in here more. So the next thing we're going to put down, and they line up nice and centered, which is really good. We're going to put down this guy, and then we're also going to put the mortar on top of this thing. And where is my mortar? It is, I think it's out here, actually, now that I think about it. Hey, there it is, right there. So we're going to put down the mortar. Now, I'm going to show you guys the fire area. So, for starters, zooming out a bunch here. I'm actually close this. So as you can see, the ballista right now can hit a huge area around our base, which is super important. Same with this one. They cover the same area. So if anyone's attacking our central base, if they're attacking our main headquarters here, we're going to be able to shoot them with a ballista almost from any angle. Additionally, the mortar will be able to hit anyone that's also attacking this base. So if our opponent comes in from, say, this area down here where my cursor is pointing, if they come in from down here, the mortar is still going to be able to hit them. If they come in from the side, mortar's going to be able to hit them. If they come in from the other side, mortar's going to be able to hit them. So the mortar's going to be able to hit them everywhere. Same with this guy. This guy's going to be able to hit people almost anywhere. So this is super important. Next, the next major step here is if you are level 8 and you've built the, what is this, the shield generator. The shield generator generally goes right here. just because then it generates shields for both of these two towers or both these two artilleries. The shield generator literally just it makes it so it nullifies the first hit that these two buildings take immediately. So it's a really good way of protecting these things and making it so they last a little bit longer. So if you have the shield generator, that's where it goes. Now, here's where the next major important part of this whole puzzle goes, and that is that you want to, within this, you want to be placing your bigger assets. So when I say bigger assets, I usually mean stuff like your tanks. We have our mithril tank. We have, or our elixir, it's a mithril tank, yes. We have our mithril tank. We have our elixir tank, if I can find it here. There's our elixir tank. And you also want to put in your gold chest. Yeah, your gold tank, I guess it is. So first thing is you want to put these things relatively close to your building. And here's the really fun trick. You want to place these so people are going to attack them first rather than attacking your base or your artillery pieces first. So by putting them here, if someone's coming from this side, if someone's coming from where my cursor is pointing right now, they're going to attack this elixir tank first before they actually attack the artillery, or they're going to attack the main base. Which means the guys that are around this base are going to be able to go and attack them, which means this thing's also going to be able to fire on them, which means this thing's also going to be able to fire on them, and which means our ballista is going to fire on them as well. So this is the plan of attack. This is the idea. You want to put a buffer and make it so, because you have to understand how the AI actually works in this game, and the AI generally, unless they have a pre-programmed who they attack, they usually attack the closest target. So if we can put targets in front of them and then use artillery pieces to take them out for a while, or take other units to take them out for a while, we're going to gain a lot of advantage. So we're going to do the exact same thing we did here, except we're also going to put our tank, I think we're going to put our tank right here. I think that's actually a pretty decent spot for it. We'll spin it around. So it's facing outward. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. So again, if anyone's attacking from any of these directions, they're going to have to deal with these things first. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to actually put in more things. So one of the big things, people are going to probably come in from this side here. So we do have these two handy guys right here. So let's throw them in here. One can go here. One can go here. These generate more troops for you for defense specifically. So they are very worth using. So we're going to put them like that. So now, if they're going to come in, they're going to have to deal with these things first, which is going to be very, very handy. Around these things, again, we're going to do the same strategy. We're going to start taking some. We have two of these guys. We're going to take two of them. We're going to actually drop them down right here. If that's as close as we can get them a little bit closer. I think we go like this. We're going to put them right there. And we're going to do the exact same on the other side. So you grab them. There's also two things you see. The white squares around here, by the way, I should point this out if you're new to base building. The white squares are where units will not be able to be placed. So your opponent won't be able to place units in those white squares. But if you actually click and hold on, as soon as you start dragging, there's now black squares. Black squares, you can't have two things overlapping. So if I place this guy here, it's going to turn red. If I'm placing it here, it will be able to be placed there. So that is something to make note of. So again, we're going to go right here, which will then make it so people are going to come in. If they're coming in from this angle, from where my cursor is right now, they are going to have to attack one of these two things first, which means this ballista is going to nice and pummel them, which means this thing's going to pummel them, and you guys get the plan here. Obviously, this thing's not hitting this entire side as much. It's going to hit more on this side, so that's something to make note of down the road. And that's what this mithril tank is doing the exact same thing. Now, we do want to protect the up top, because right now, for our opponent, if we're zooming out here, right now, the best place for our opponent to attack us is up here, because it deals with the artillery pieces first. So let's make it so our opponent doesn't want to attack up there as readily. So we're going to put down our clan base, or clan headquarters. So this is where you have this building here does two things for you. One, it allows you to recruit clan members when you actually go on raids. So when you actually fly out with your airship and attack other players, this allows you to get troops. And this also generates clan members depending on what level it is. So it is super handy, which is why we're using it. So again, this is going to be at the top up here. So if they attack this way, they're going to have to deal with these guys firing at them, and then dealing with this firing at these guys being attacking them. So they're going to have a bunch of things to deal with. Now, again, if an opponent just attacks here, they're going to go straight in and take out this base, which means they're going to take out one of our main primary defenses. So we need to put something in their way to distract them. So let's take our gold placing production. We're going to throw one of these guys down here, and I think we're going to throw it... Where do I want to put it? If we go here, I think this is going to be the better bet. Placing it here, it creates an alleyway that they would have to go down, which is fine. I like that actually a lot. And same with that guy. So those guys are going to go in there. So that's turning out pretty nice. And then we do have some space up here where we can do some other stuff. Something we should actually put some consideration into realistically. So The other thing we're going to have to start taking a look into now is, like, how much do we have for space for walls? Because usually you want your entire place encapsulated, then have other stuff around it. So I think we're actually going to start putting in some walls now and see how far we can get in the wall territory, and then we're going to start going into placing other stuff around because we still have a bunch of other like things as well. So let's start placing those down now. So we're just going to throw walls down everywhere. So I think we're going to go like this. How close can this wall get? So this wall can get there. I think we can probably go like this right here. What do I want to do? Do I want to go... I think we're actually going to try the gate trick right here. So we're going to try the gate trick here. So there's a gate trick I do, which I'll get to in a second here. In the meantime, we're going to throw down a bunch of walls. So wall there, and I'm kind of just wondering where our weakest point is, because we could put in some more towers. We do have 2 more towers. I'm almost thinking, where did I put my other towers? I think I just put them over to the side somewhere. I'm almost thinking that if we put a tower in here, it might actually be a decent idea. So let's actually do that. So we're going to go like this. We're going to put a tower in right here. Now, the thing about towers, here's the big thing. There's something that's super important, is you don't ever really want to put your towers on the outside of your wall or on the very edges of your wall, because it allows for the grenader and other ranged units to take it out immediately, so they can just quickly get rid of that artillery piece, and then they don't have to deal with your stuff anymore. So what you can do is a little trick we're actually going to do right now. So we're going to take the cannon, which is also hanging out up here. We're going to grab the cannon, which is a very good piece, by the way. And we're going to throw this guy right up here. And then to tempt our opponent a bunch, aka deal with their units that are going to want to do stuff, we're going to grab some buildings. Whoop, that is totally not what I meant to show you guys. Don't mind any of that. We're going to grab these guys here. And we are going to put them right at this front little gate area here. Sorry, I don't mean to keep grabbing that. So we're going to throw them right here. So if they do want to come and take out this cannon straight away, they're going to have to, usually they'll have to attack these things first. It's going to make our opponent attack those things first if they do place troops down right away. We do have 2 very strong walls, which is something we're going to have to put in a strategic location. We'll probably put them on the sides here, to be honest. Alright, keeping placing down walls. So, next wall. So, again, throwing down a wall. Oops, I keep just randomly clicking here. So we're just going to throw down a bunch of walls, and then we'll actually replace them, because it's being finicky on where it wants me to let me actually place walls. Let's just go like this. Bam, 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 bam. Put a bunch of walls down. Okay, so rearranging walls. Walls are really good if are really good to place them in kind of a tighter knit pattern if you can do it. So I'm almost not really liking the super placement of this thing here, but I think we'll be able to get around it. So we're going to go like this, and then I think we're gonna... Not the greatest placement of this tank here. I'm not gonna lie. Not loving it. I think we can go like this. It's gonna be temporary fix, which we're gonna have to try and find a way of mixing it. Oh, by the way, you don't have to remove stuff off these things. Once they're on it, they're on it. It's great. So we're gonna go like this, and we're gonna see if we can make this work. So we're gonna back this over 1. And then we're going to do the same here. And then this guy goes like so. We may actually have to remove this mithril tank, to be honest, here. We might actually do that right now, to be honest. I think we're going to do that right now. So we're going to bring this guy out. I'm not super happy with it. That's what I'm trying to say here, guys. I'm not super happy with the placement I did there. So we're going to go like this instead. We're gonna make it so the inner base, our inner fortress, is more impenetrable. It's going to be the plan. So now we come out 1 range. So bam, bam. Okay, I think that's looking a lot better. I think that's going to work a lot better. So we're going to take these guys out. We're going to put the mithril tank probably right, like, back here again. So, because usually in these things, because they're a tower, you can actually put in ranged units, and they have to destroy the building first. So I think what we're going to do, we're going to put this mithril tank here. So if they attack this ballista should be able to reach them. Yeah, this ballista is going to reach them. And if we put an archer in this building, it'll be able to attack them as well. So that's going to be the game plan here currently. So how do we have this? We have this guy going like that. So let's go like this. So you can go right here. Trying to get in there. Trying to make it fit. It's like playing Legos. My fat fingers are in the way. No one likes my fat fingers. Especially not me. Okay, and then one more piece here, doing the same thing here. Now, what we can do... So we're going to have a little bit of a complication here in the front. So we actually can do a couple different things about this, which we'll come back to in a minute here. We'll get it sorted out, but it's going to be a bigger fix, I think, than what we kind of are currently looking at. So, carrying on with the back here, just finish up all of this here. We can go like one there. We're looking at some lighter walls there, which throw down more walls. And you go here. Sorry, placing walls is not the most exciting thing, I understand. But it is a necessary evil that we must all do when we're building our bases. Alright, so here's the next one, is this building here is kind of an awkward placement for size. Because even when we go like this, we still have a lot of room around it. And we could obviously build up around it, which is technically fine. It does potentially work, but I'm not sure how much I love it. I'm not sure how much I love having to place stuff around this guy. We're going to do it anyways. We're just going to go and do it, because I think it's going to be a necessary evil for us no matter what. So, putting this in here. Also, by the way, I'm not sure if you have noticed yet, but building walls, like upgrading your walls, is super vitally crucial to being successful in this game. If you are not upgrading your walls, it makes it so your opponents can get through your stuff really fast, which doesn't really help anyone, especially not you in the game, to be quite honest. Okay, so I think what we're going to do, because we have this extra kind of blocking stuff down here we need to deal with, I think we're going to try and do double towers on this end. Do I want to go double towers on this end, or do I want to actually go like this? I think we're actually going to go like this, actually. I think the other side is actually okay for size and scope. I think what we're going to go is we're going to go like this. We're going to grab this other tower. Probably going to grab both these towers, actually. I don't really want this guy here anymore. We're going to move him up. We're going to go like this. And we're going to put these guys in here. Like that. I think that's where we're going to go. I think this is going to be awesome. Yes. I'm so impressed with myself, guys. I'm so impressed with myself. So what we're going to do is we're going to go like this. We're going to sneak these two towers up here as close as we possibly can get. We're actually going to replace this, by the way, with an actual gate. So people are going to try and run in there, which is going to be fine. We're going to be okay with that. So now what we're going to do is we're going to try and entice our opponent to come in this way, which is, I think, something we're going to need to do no matter how we look at this. Okay. So now this can come back down here. And we have more walls. We have lots more walls. We have strong walls, too. So I think we're going to go strong wall here. We're going to move this guy into the middle. And we're going to go strong wall here. So making your walls double thick makes it so your opponents don't really want to attack you as well, which is on the front. So something to keep in mind. Okay. So we have the basics of our base laid out. So this is the primary layout of our base. We still have a whole bunch of things to put in before we're finished, but this is the primary layout. So we're basically encapsulating all of the stuff that we want to protect as close as possible. We're making it so it's hard to attack in from any one direction. And now we're going to start making it so our opponent has to deal with stuff before they actually get to us. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to grab a couple of these things that our opponent are going to want to attack. Specifically stuff like mithril tanks. People tend to want to attack. So mithril tank. And we're going to throw another mithril tank over here. And then we're going to throw in our gold mine or gold generator. I can't remember exactly what the name is. And I think we have a second one or two, actually. I don't. I've used it. But mithril tank. I will happily put a mithril tank in here. So here you go. Wazanga. Okay, so what I've done here, I'm not sure if you've noticed, is I've made it so our opponent can't place their units anywhere close to our wall, which means this thing here should be able to attack them no matter what they attack here. So if they place here, they're going to be shot at by this cannon. If they place here, they're going to be shot at by the cannon. If they place here, they're going to be shot at by the cannon. So that's really handy. And then this catapult is, it's a kind of a 50-50 thing right now. It's not doing the most amazing stuff, but it's there. It's doing stuff. It's doing something at least. Now we need to try and predict. We're going to put a gate in here, actually. I think I have I have a level 4 gate, and this is what, a level... I mean, this is a level 3 gate. We want to put in a level 4 gate here. We'd like to protect this a little bit at least. I think we're just going to double it up. We're going to do the double gate trick. So it's going to be a little bit harder for our opponent to to get in here. Now, we do have a bunch of walls left. And we do have a bunch... We actually have a lot of walls left. So the next trick I like to do once in a while, at least when I'm building, we have lots and lots of walls left. Wow. Is we're going to do a protective wall around. And what I mean by that is we're going to choose a location where our opponent is likely going to attack us, and our opponent is likely going to attack us on the side. So right now, the best places for our opponent to attack us is literally right here or right on this side here. They're likely not going to attack on the front because if they come in through the front, they're literally dealing with two of these guys, two ballistas, and the main fort right in the center, and then these things are just going to pound them no matter where they are as they come in from the front. This is a really bad spot to attack from. So they're likely going to come in the sides. So what can we do about that? Well, we can place down, for starters, we can place down a bunch of buildings along the side, which we will make it so they have a harder time placing units. We're going to put in stuff we're going to put this actually farther down here. I'm actually going to put it right here, right where this little nook is. And do we have another... Do I have anything else? Sorry, I'm zipping around the map here. I'm sorry it's making you guys motion sickness a little bit. So we're going to go like that. We'll put these two down at the bottom. And we have a couple other small buildings. Oh, we should put this guy, actually. That's what I wanted to do. I'm going to put my other mine, which obviously you can't gain resources from, but it is a thing. And I think we're going to go like this. So this is going to go here. This is going to go here. Now, these are acting as dummies again, right? Because if our opponent does place up here to attack the front area, they're going to have to... They likely will not attack through the wall here. They'll actually keep wrapping around the side. They'll keep going around the side down here to attack this thing. So that is something. And if they place here, which we can hit them with this guy, if they place here, they're going to likely attack this thing first and then move their way around the side of the building. So this is, again, predicting what our opponent's troops will likely do. Now, we can place a couple more things here. Place one thing there, one thing there. So now our opponent can't place anywhere along the sides, so they are forced to place farther out, which means they get peppered with stuff like this, which I am okay with. Now, we need to kind of think, if I was my opponent, where would I want to place? Now, if we give them an opening to place in, example, if we go like this, right? That means they can place right here without any real problems. So, why don't we trap them? Why don't we set an actual trap for our opponent like this? If they are going to place right here, they're going to land right in the middle of this center thing here, be able to hit by this ballista, hit by this ballista. They're going to be attacked by our troops and our clan troops here. So let's do that. I think this is a really smart idea. I think I'm being really smart with how I place my stuff. This thing needs to move up, I think, one block, doesn't it? Nope, no. This needs to move down one more block. Bloop. Okay. So we're doing the same thing, flinging guys into the middle of our base, which is something we want to make our opponent have to deal with. Now, I think what we're going to do here is we're going to try and buffer our front line here. So what we're going to do, we're going to put out, I think we're going to go like this. We're going to put out a thing like that. And I think what we can do, actually, grab this. And do I want to put it right here? Just thinking. If I put it here, that means our opponent has to... I don't think it's really helping us much, actually. I don't think that's going to help us much at all. But we could place this here. And then that forces him that he can only place on that little square. Like, what does that look like to our opponent? Looks like there's literally a trap set there. That's what it looks like. Okay, let's not do that. Let's move this over here. So we're gonna make another double solid wall in the front here. Not another. We're just gonna make a double solid wall here because I'd rather our opponent not attack us on the front line here. So this is kind of my logic. Hope you guys enjoy me kind of like talking through what I think and why I think something. I'm not sure if it's super handy or if it makes sense at all, but I hope it does. And we could obviously put heavier walls in around if we really wanted to. So we're going to put these along here. Now, the next thing is, where would our opponent likely attack in? If they are going to attack in through the sides, they will likely take out these things. So we're trying to think of where I want to put these mine traps. Is my next line of thought here. where would our opponent come in? It is possible that they would come down these alleyways here. That is completely possible. It is also completely possible if they do place along these alleys, which is completely realistic, they might also come and attack here. So we could actually place them here. I think we're going to try them here first. Again, one on each side, just to make sense of it all. And now we have our spike traps, which are super also important. We need to place them. They are probably one of the most important things of all of these. So we're going to place a single spike trap here, I think, to start out with. Do I want to put it there? Yeah, there's probably the best place. And then I think the second best place is probably going to be right here. I'm thinking. For now, this is what I'm thinking. And I want to place it there because I'm assuming they're going to probably attack along here. Is the main place they're going to attack, which means actually, no, we can't have this here then. We actually have to move this guy. Have to move that guy. Because what'll end up happening is they'll like walk around down here, and then they'll try and attack the gate, and if this gate pops up that was in the middle way here, they're going to attack it from here, not actually stand on our trap, which is what we want them to do. Okay. And now this guy is going to go where? We have a couple just random pieces that we can totally just place wherever we would like. I think, because of these things, I think we're just going to make it so our opponent really has to deal with this front gate area here. Hey, get out of there. I don't want you to be there. Sometimes walls just have a mind of their own. Okay. Like that, right there. Mind of its own. So, why don't we make it so our opponent has to deal with some annoyingness, which is like half of the game, right? Is making it so they have to deal with annoyingness. Can I place this closer? Can I, like, get away with that there? I could. I think if we go like this, I'm almost thinking we could probably get some proper use out of it. So I'm gonna put it there. I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna try an experiment that if they are gonna come along here, or they're gonna place the guys here, they're gonna have to go around this somehow, which may, trick them into walking onto the spring trap. We're gonna try it out. I don't know how well it's gonna work. This is just an experiment. But I'm gonna run this base for a while, and I'll see if any of these actually work. If any of them work at all. It's gonna be a little bit of an experiment. Hey. Oh, and then let's throw down. Do I want to throw down another layer of walls, or? I mean, we have extra walls. We could just use them. We could always do this as well. We'd actually, if we back this guy off, we could actually back this up one space and throw in one of these walls right here. That might not be a bad idea. Maybe? Maybe it is a bad idea. Maybe I don't really like it because it makes our opponent not want to attack there as easily or as readily. So I think we're gonna go like this. We're gonna leave the trap here. We're gonna see if we can make this trap work. And do I offset it by 1? I don't know. I feel like this would work better if it was a spike trap I was using it with. We will try there and see if it works at all. So, and then we're just going to throw some walls out here because we can, and then we're going to throw more walls here. We have 3 of them, and hey, we'll put this guy here, because why not? Okay, I think that's going to be the entire map. That is all of the stuff. Let me get a nice angle here. Throw it back on the full screen mode here so you guys can see what I've done. And you guys can tell me what you guys think of my my base build. This is a 30-minute video. I know it's gotten a little bit long, but I wanted to go in-depth for what you guys might actually think of this. So this is going to be the base. The next video, or a video down the road, I'll show you a bunch of tests with how well this base is working, and then I'll make some changes, and I'll talk about making the changes and why I think they're good or bad, and we'll analyze what we're doing. Okay, until next time, though, my name's Adrian. This is GiantMonsterGames. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to game like a giant monster.
Thanks for watching the videos here on Giant Monster Games. If you want to support the channel directly, we now have a Patreon page which you can go and become part of the broader Giant Monster Games community. Additionally, if you want to see some other awesome videos, you can click right here or right here.